Been called a nice meeting to order. And the roll call.
Kessler.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Rardon.
Here.
Hubert. Here. Benner.
Here.
Parton.
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here. Invocation tonight was given by the pastor John Meadows of the Christian Chapel Four Square Church.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you that you sent your Son into this world, and your saving act made it possible so we can have the Spirit. Lord, I ask that your Spirit be with the mayor and the city council and the city officials, Lord, as they continue to make decisions to help this city, Lord. And I ask that your Spirit continue to make this a place that you would have it to be. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start with the presentation of minutes. Minutes of June 10, 2019. Mr. Kessler.
Make a motion we approve the minutes of June 10th, 2019.
Second.
Motion second to approve the minutes, June 10, 2019. Discussion, question.
Kessler.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Rardon.
Yes.
Hubert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 1, citizen be heard, Sedgwick County Fire Department. They're not here to show. We'll listen to the report. 2, approval license and bonds, nothing on the agenda. 3, introduction of ordinance and resolutions, nothing on the agenda. Item 4, notice and communications. A, government body announcements. Government body announcements. Mr. Crowe.
Going on at the library, starting in July. On the 1st, they'll have a summer movie night at 6 p.m. That movie's going to be Space Chimps, and if you don't make it out that evening, on the July 2nd at 2, they'll have a summer matinee movie, and that's also Space Chimps. So that's the 1st and the 2nd. The 2nd is also a horticulture club meeting. The 4th is Independence Day, and the library is closed on that day. July 8th and 9th, again at 6 p.m. on the 8th or 2 p.m. on the 9th, you can see Space Chimps 2 for another movie night. And on the 9th, there's also a Medicare seminar. And July 10th at 10 a.m. is one of the summer programs they have. It's the Mad Science Special Performance. So that sounds like a good time. And then really wanted to touch on, also it's going to be at the library, but it's promoted by Haysville Healthy Habits on the 9th at 6 o'clock in the community room at the library. They'll be having a presentation. It's called Suicide in Haysville. It's going to be put on by Monica Cruz, who's the director of the Kansas Suicide Prevention Resource Center. It'll help you learn for signs, symptoms, and what you can do to help. And this has been an issue in our community for the past couple of years, and it would be great to see a good turnout for this to kind of make sure we get people the help that they need. Some people may need help and not even realize it, and this might be able to help you spot that. It says who should attend, and it just says parents, grandparents, families, high school students, college students, police, fire. They're encouraging anybody, the faith-based organizations, business people, coaches, elected officials, which I hope we can get some council members there, and I hope some of the Board of Education's there. It'd be nice to see a good presence there. This is a really important topic, and it's I think something that could really do the community good to be a part of. And again, that's Tuesday, July 9th from 6 to 7, and that's at the library, put on by Haysville Healthy Habits. And that's all I have.
Senior Center, Tuesday, June 25th. Simple support weight loss at 12:30. Wednesday, 28th at the 26th. Therabands at 10. Thursday, June 27th is movie day at 12:30. Tuesday, July 2nd is Hermes Foot Care all day. Wednesday, July 3rd is bingo at 12:30, and they are closed on July the 4th. Item B is a memo to council on new business, 81 truck and auto repair. Item 5, old business, nothing. Item 6, other business, is consider proposal for the police department roof repair and remodel. We got your memo from Will, breaking it down to you, showing we'd sent out several proposals, only had one returned to us. And this is looking at doing a design-build concept where they would actually be able to have the architects and design, and they will hire all the subs, and then they would be just paid a flat fee at this point. You've got the total sample of what they've shown their budget would be. That could change, but their fee only stays at the 15% of the design-build fee. Hopefully, this is the same group that the school district hired, and they were able to save the school district quite a bit of money in doing this type of work. So, Chief is here if you have any questions. Mr. Crump?
So I don't have a question so much for Chief as I do for probably you. When we looked at doing this, did we have the roof on this building checked at the same time to see if,
This one's already been replaced.
okay,
We did this one. This has already got fixed here last year, I think, wasn't it?
Well, part of it was, it's been a few years, but not that long ago, that we replaced the whole thing on this
Yeah.
side, and then the back part we did at another time. So-
This one, we haven't, the leaks that they've got over there, we haven't had any leaks in here.
okay. I just wanted to make sure, because if we're gonna do one, we might as well look at the other one if it hadn't been
And
done
that one's,
recently.
that's got 2 roofs on it. They're gonna tear off both of them, put on a whole new roof.
Okay,
When the remodel happened, they just put another roof on top of the other one, so both of them leak. Mr. Walters?
Are we looking at a similar style, or are we looking at changing, maybe putting in a raked roof? What kind of roof are we looking at, maybe?
At this point, that's part of the issue that we're going with a design build type of a arrangement, because we're gonna take, I mean, I'm not a roofing person, so we're gonna take their recommendation as far as what should be done with that existing roof that's there, because obviously there's leaks in there, and when we started this process last year, we had a couple different roofing companies came out, and each one of them had a different idea as to how to fix that roof. So at this point, I'm not sure. It looks like they're recommending take both of them off and put a new roof on.
They're not changing the slope or anything, I don't think, at this
We're
point.
not
Not that I
changing
know of, no. I don't
Because a
believe so.
flat roof is harder to maintain, it tends to be
Right,
more subject to leaks, so I was just wondering.
yeah, and I'm sure they're well versed in best practices and those kind of things as far as how to do that, so we'll see what they tell us.
Ms. Better?
So when we say design-build process, that I'm guessing means that a lot of the design and architecture goes on simultaneously with the actual building of it, as opposed to designing everything first and then going and finding a builder to execute it.
Yeah, they actually have a architectural firm that they work with.
Right.
So the architectural firm will be in the design while they're going through to do the building, yes.
But my question is there more or less going on at the same time?
Same time.
So I guess change orders aren't such a big deal in a design-build scenario as they would be in a
That's
traditional.
my understanding.
Yeah,
We're kind
that's
of
correct.
going on the fly with the designing in the building.
They too will bid, they'll bid everything out. Mr. Custer?
If this is approved tonight, what is the time frame as far as getting it done?
If it's approved tonight, I'll get with Coonrod and find out this week when we can start meetings and start getting this done. We need to get it done as soon as possible.
We'll have the contract, I guess, and Josh has already looked over the contract, it's a under contract at this point, so, I think something like they said within 5 days they would start, I think.
Right, they want to start having
Yes,
meetings
so,
probably this week or next week.
that doesn't mean they'll start tearing the roof in 5 days.
Right. Get design it first.
Yeah, Mr. Merton?
Well, if nobody has any questions or answers, I make a motion that we allow the city, the chief, and go into contract with Coonrod and Associations for the amount of $433,352.
Second.
And we need to include the, at 15% for
No,
design.
okay,
15%.
plus the 15%. I sorry, I missed
I'll
that.
still second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Coonrod and Associates for the design build 15%. Discussion? Question?
Kessler,
I had a
Question?
And here it says see, it includes the 15% design build fee and 3% contingency comes to that dollar amount?
Yes,
So it's all included in that?
it's already included in the 433,
Okay.
yes.
Does that change the motion?
The motion was different than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I amend my motion to accept the bid from Coonrod and Associates for the amount of the total GPM of single budget to include the 15% design build fee and the 3% contingency fee to come in at $433,352.
I'll still second it.
Okay. Other questions on the motion? Question?
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Burden,
Yes.
Hewert,
Yes.
Binner,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 7, department reports. Will didn't have anything. City clerk, Jeannie?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just letting you know, city offices will be closed on July 4th. That's it.
Chief?
Good Mayor and Council. Wanted to introduce our visiting officer this evening, Officer Jonathan Marr. He's currently assigned to our first shift, so say hi to him as you go by out there. Also, we have a couple things pertaining to fireworks. We have the 4th of July coming up, and we won't be closed. The police department will be open on the 4th, as always. We have a couple things going on. Well, I'll do Coffee with the Cop first. Coffee with the Cop is this week, on Wednesday, the 26th. It'll be from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning, and it'll be over at the Senior Center. So stop by and see us. We'll be there for the hour Wednesday morning. Okay, and then for the 4th of July, fireworks will go on sale this week on Thursday, the 27th. And from the 27th through July 2nd, fireworks can be detonated between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. Okay, and then on July 3rd and July 4th, they can go from 8 a.m. until midnight. Now, if you have issues with people continuing to shoot them after that, 911 does have a special line for that during certain dates and times. If it's a nuisance or there's something catching on fire or something has blown up, please call 911. Don't call the other number. They do have their special emergency line open on July 1st through 6th from 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. and that number is going to be 290-1011. Now, this is things to report loud noise, parties, excessive noise, fireworks, and things like that for that number, and that just keeps our emergency dispatchers available to answer emergency calls. And then on the other side, when we have loud party complaints or loud firecracker complaints, they have the other call takers taking these. So it's extra staffing at 911 so they can handle these other volume of calls because their volume does increase quite a bit during this time of year. So again, that number is 290-1011, available July 1st through July 6th from 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. So it'll go all the way through the weekend after the 4th, because I'm sure they probably will continue to do that firework detonation after that, even though we're not supposed to shoot them all up on the 4th. And of course, please do them on your private property. Don't shoot fireworks in the street. Clean up after yourself when you're done. Pick up all the paper and everything. Make sure that's all picked up. Don't leave it for somebody else to clean up. So be a good neighbor and everybody be safe. Thanks.
Tony, anything?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Once again, I've included the code enforcement breakdown in your packet. And also on 4th of July, the Public Works Department will be closed, so for any water or wastewater emergencies, you can contact dispatch at 529-5912. Thank you.
Turkey?
Evening, Mayor and Council. So just a reminder, tomorrow there is a swim meet at the pool, so it will close at 4 o'clock. I'm sure it will be hopefully warm weather tomorrow. There are going to be snow cones in the parking lot, so those will be available. And I know they do go to support the swim club, so if you're out and about, you can grab one of those. The activity center will be closed on the 4th, but we will be having our 4th of July activities. This schedule of events, everybody has one. It is on Channel 7, it is on the corner sign, it is posted around town, it is on our Facebook page, but main points is the parade starts at 8 a.m. and then all the activities over in the park. We'll have the fishing derby, the frog races, obstacle course, the raft races over at the pool, the water carnival, and then Citizen of the Year announcement will be at 7:15. I know this year there were some really good candidates, and the one that won was particularly deserving, so you might want to come out for that. And the band starts at 7:30. Fireworks will be at 9:45. We will once again block off the street and the area over to the north of the tennis courts. So if you're looking for places to sit, please do not sit there because we will have to make you move. So I think that's all I have.
Mr. Crump, question?
Parade route this year.
Parade route will start as same as last year, go from the middle school parking lot down to the Methodist church. Oh, and session 3 swim lessons start next week, so we're taking registrations. You can do that online or at the activity center. And I think I have something else because Tony told me to be quick.
Thank you. 8 appointments, we have none. 9 off agendas to be heard. Anyone who would like to come forward? 10, executive station, we have none. Item 11, bill to be paid. 8, bill to be paid for the last half of June. Ms. Ewert?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, we pay the last half of June bills.
Motion second to pay the last half of June bills. Discussion, question.
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters, Gerardin,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes?
Thompson.
Yes.
On your consent agenda, we have 2 items that are recurring items in the city. So we put them on your consent agenda, so we would need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Ms. Parton?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion second to approve consent agenda. Discussion, question.
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Gerardin,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crump,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Mr. Bennett?
Do we have any update or know what the latest is on the vicious dog scenario we had 2 weeks ago over on Sunset?
I have an officer looking into that one right now. One of our supervisors is working with both parties on that case, trying to see if we can come to an agreement where all parties are satisfied with the agreement, and we're just in the process of working on that, trying to work through it. So that's where we are for now.
Thank you.
Mr. Crump?
Couple. One is, the other morning at 5 when the tornado sirens went off, there's been some question about whether or not is the city building still a storm shelter? Can people come down? Here's the entrance open where they can get down into the basement.
It is open as soon as there's a tornado warning issued, yes.
Okay. And the community library can be used during library hours, I believe.
Yes, there basically can't be. I don't think it's a designated shelter as the city building is, but if they're open, you can go in the basement, yeah.
Okay. And then, Tony, I was curious, on Sarah Lane, south side where the Cowskin's at, why is that not kept down where like you can see the water? I mean, right now everything's getting so high. What I'm getting concerned about is that if you're driving east down Sarah Lane, if there's somebody riding a bike or a skateboard that would be moving pretty quick on the sidewalk, they could be to that crosswalk before you really had a chance to
You're
see
talking
them.
from Rick's Park to kind of the pool side?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I think that's actually owned by a private resident, so we can get with them, code enforcement to
Really?
enforce that, yeah. I'm pretty sure the proper lane goes on the other side of the Cowskin for them technically.
Okay, yeah, because it's getting really, really high. And then something that we kind of skirted around when we ended up taking over the dry cleaning area, and the laundromat's going to have to go away. Have we considered giving a business incentive to have somebody bring a laundromat back in here once that one's gone?
We have not looked at it.
Is that maybe something we might want to do? If we had an incentive for a coffee shop and for a restaurant, I think that with the some of the housing that we have here in town with the apartments and stuff like that, I think that laundromat's been utilized for several years, and I think it's a business that's needed in town, and I think maybe it's something we should consider.
We can look at it and discuss it and see if there's some funding that we have to do. Sure.
Okay.
And then, Ms. Benner?
Do we know for certain that that land will be, that will be allowed after the remediation is done?
My understanding is it will be done so that we can sell the land, yes, and a commercial can be built on the land. That's what the information was last week when they had their meeting here in town. Yeah, it's supposed to be totally remediated. They don't know how deep they'll have to go, they don't know how much dirt they have to take out, but Mr. Walters?
Are we still on target to get the remediation done in a timely manner
Excuse me?
for that area? Because we have a certain time frame in order to get the reimbursement.
We're not using any of our own money.
I thought we had to get that situated so that the county's doing it, right?
No.
Or we're doing it, but the county's going to pay for it if we get
KDHE is paying for it all.
KDHE, right?
KDHE is paying for everything.
Do we have to set up removing that material? Do we have to do anything as a city?
No.
We don't.
KDHE
Okay.
will hire the contractor, KDHE will do everything basically. At this point, when it's done, it's being deeded to us already. We'll close Wednesday at 10. But they're funding all the money, they're doing all the contractors. They're doing everything. When it's totally remediated, we own the land.
Okay, I thought we had something that we had to complete, make sure that we were reimbursed or something, but apparently that's not the case.
No, we don't have a reimbursement at all.
Okay.
It's, though, all the $153,000 will be funded will be paid by the KHE and demolishing it and so on and so forth, KHE.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hopefully then we can sell it and recoup some of the money that we have put out. We've not put any hard money out, but we have put a lot of time money out. Tony spent a lot of time with this, plus we've had other people spending time. We've been paid nothing for any of our time at this point. This will be one way we can recoup some of those funds that time that we've spent and not be paid for. Plus get another business in town at this point.
Thank you.
Other concerns, council? Seeing none, we got the item B, the council action request updates.
In regards to 1126 East Grand, the vehicle has been confirmed to be tagged and on all-weather surface, but the resident needs a spray for weeds. Code enforcement will continue to follow up. 328 Hungerford, the property owner spends a lot of time outside the country on their job, so they have left to take care of a small pile of concrete, and code enforcement will continue to follow up. The drainage ditch behind Moy, I spoke to, I think was the resident in the office last week, kind of informed them of our plan of action when the weather allows, and they seemed to be content with that. And 6406 South Osage, this was, before the action request was sent, was actually scheduled for abatement. The abatement took place on June 17th. And then 6410 South Osage, property was in violation of grass over 12 inches, and the homeowner has since mowed and is in compliance now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 14, adjournment.
Mayor, council make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, discussion. Question.
Kessler,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rodden,
Yes.
Hubert. Yes. Tanner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.